Now, from Nebraska's trusted news source, this is Channel 8 News at 5.
Coming up tonight on the news, after a string of national tragedies, Lincoln Public Schools is hosting safety training for sporting events. Plus,
we'd like to provide an update regarding the crash at 52nd and O Street that occurred back on Sunday, May 29th.
An arrest is made on the deadly crash on O Street over Memorial Day weekend. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. But first tonight, we're starting with details on your weather.
Yeah, the threat of severe weather across our viewing area for tonight. Let's get the latest from meteorologist Malcolm Byron. How's it looking at this point, Malcolm?
Well, Rod and Megan, in previous days, the setup favored severe weather in central and western Nebraska, but that shifts into southeast Nebraska this evening. Now, at this time, we only have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect for the yellow shaded counties out in the northwest portion of the state. It does include Custer, Blaine out towards Frontier, Chase, Perkins, and Hayes counties as well. This is all to the west right now. The Tri-Cities and Lincoln not included at this point, but I think there's a really good chance that at some point later on this evening, a watch will be included for the Tri-Cities and in Lincoln. Now, at this hour, all the storm activity is off towards the west, where we have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect right now. We had a report in Mullen, Nebraska, of golf ball size hail already this afternoon, and this activity will push off towards the southeast. So we'll pick up stormcasts at 6 o'clock tonight. Here's all that thunderstorm activity off towards the west. And initially this evening, the main concern is for some very large hail and maybe even a brief spin up. But as you go into the nighttime hours, we still keep the hail threat, but the wind threat really starts to ramp up as some of these isolated thunderstorms congeal into a line of thunderstorms. And by the time it moves across southeast Nebraska, we're going to be watching the potential for a line of thunderstorms to be moving through, I'd say, anytime past 8 o'clock tonight. During our 10 o'clock show, it will likely either be moving through the Lancaster County area or will have already done so and will be pushing its way out. So this is something we're going to be watching throughout the rest of the evening. Anybody who sees storms tonight, you've got the chance to see a little bit of severe weather as well. All severe modes are possible. We'll have a closer look at what's more likely coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Malcolm. It's been a little over a week now after that deadly crash on O Street on Memorial Day weekend.
The Lincoln Police Department has new updates regarding charges against the teenage driver. Channel 8's Ariana Martinez joins us now with those new details about the crash. Ariana?
Kyle Stark was the 18-year-old driver of the black Ford Taurus the night of the crash. He turned himself in this morning and is now charged with 2 counts of manslaughter and 2 counts of driving under the influence with serious bodily injury. Lincoln Police Chief Teresa Ewens says that Stark was under the influence of marijuana during the crash, but could not give a level of how much was in his system. She also talked about ways they hope to prevent collisions like this in the future, and she said it starts with people slowing down. The car Stark was driving has a recorded speed of close to 90 miles an hour moments before the crash.
The front end of Mr. Stark's vehicle struck the passenger side of Miss Siebenor's vehicle. After the initial impact, both vehicles left the roadway and continued over to the north side sidewalk west of the intersection area, striking multiple bystanders who gathered to observe an event where vehicles traveled along O Street over the Memorial Day weekend.
Chief Ewens was unable to clarify if Stark hit the car at 90 miles an hour or if he hit his brakes at all. That is still under investigation. And since there were multiple people injured from the crash, there is a chance more charges can be brought against Stark. At least 20 people were injured and 2 people remain in the hospital. There was no updates on their current condition.
Ariana Martinez, thank you very much for that update tonight. Well, since the weather has warmed up, Lincoln police say they've seen an increase in garage burglaries.
In almost all of the burglaries, police say the burglar entered through an open garage door or an unlocked service door. Police say it's important to make sure everything is locked before you go to bed, and of course that includes your vehicle. Now to the ABC News exclusive interview with a teacher who survived the Uvalde Elementary School massacre.
The teacher saying he'll never forgive law enforcement for their delayed response. ABC's Rena Roy has more.
2 weeks after the second deadliest elementary school shooting in U.S. history, Arnulfo Reyes, who survived the Uvalde massacre, telling his story from the hospital.
And I said, If I die, don't let it be in vain.
The fourth grade teacher was watching a movie with 11 of his students when the gunman opened fire. All 11 kids died. Reyes was shot multiple times.
You thought you were going to die.
Yes, ma'am.
The 17-year teacher veteran heard police nearby and a child in the connecting classroom calling out for help.
Saying, officer, we're in here. We're in here. But they had already left. And then he got up from behind my desk and he walked over there and he shot over there again.
The gunman was in the school for 77 minutes before Border Patrol agents took him down.
You're supposed to protect and serve. There is no excuse for their actions, and I will never forgive them.
The Texas Department of Public Safety and Robb Elementary officials have not responded for comment. This as calls for gun control legislation echo across the country. Dr. Roy Guerrero is a pediatrician who helped out at the hospital the day of the shooting.
To the degree of wounds that I saw that day on these tiny children, no, there's no need for anyone to have assault weapons.
Bipartisan talks on gun reform continue, senators hoping to reach a deal by the end of the week. Actor Matthew McConaughey, a Uvalde native, calling for restricted access to guns.
This should not be a partisan issue. There is not a Democratic or Republican value in one single act of these shooters. Can both sides see beyond the political problem at hand and admit that we have a life preservation problem on our hands?
The families of 4 children who were injured in the shooting have sued the gunman's estate. The attorney who filed the lawsuit now investigating how the gunman purchased his guns and ammunition and law enforcement's response. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Back to local news now. What keeps you up at night? That's the question Lincoln Public Schools officials have been asking themselves for the past 2 days.
The district is one of the first in the country to host a sports event risk management training session. It's to improve their security at school sporting events. Channel 8's Yosef Nasser joins us now with more on that. Yosef.
Hey, Rod and Megan, we go to high school sporting events to cheer on our schools, but anything can happen at a basketball game or a track meet. Here's how LPS is prepping to make sure you and your children are safe at those events.
You always worry about, obviously the big ones like an active shooter, but, the reality of something happening at our sporting events is probably weather.
For the past 2 days, state law enforcement, LPS athletic directors, and security officers have been training on how to handle emergency situations at sporting events here in Lincoln. The National Center for Sports Spectator Safety and Security hosted the session. A big piece of the training is having a general plan in place to respond to a wide range of possible emergencies.
Our goal is to really kind of stay general and give our staff an outline, but train them to be able to respond to multiple scenarios.
We often say, you plan for what you know, and then there's also some things that you may not know.
Some examples of things discussed in the training course include active shooter scenarios.
Evacuating, how do we take people in, how do we take people out, how do we make sure that people come in and it's a safe environment when they come in. Those are all things that they're giving us to make sure that we're looking at.
Here in Nebraska, weather-related scenarios are a big thing to account for as well.
We're not meteorologists. We don't have that background, so we have to make sure that we have the relationships in place.
Other important things discussed include evacuation procedures, responding to someone having a health emergency at a sporting event, and crowd management.
What really keeps me up at night is making sure that our staff is ready to respond. And that's all the preparation part for us. That's what we have to prepare for.
Now, guys, I asked about the timing of this training session, if it had anything to do with some of the events that we've seen nationwide. I'm told that it had actually been 2 years in the making, delayed by the pandemic. Now, there is a possibility that LPS brings this course back for another session. Of course, the course is fully funded by FEMA. Rod, Megan.
All right, Yosef, thank you for that story. After 3 weeks of not moving, the local COVID risk dial has changed.
It went up to elevated yellow, which is a moderate risk of community spread. COVID cases did go up last week from 417 cases to 533. Unfortunately, hospitalizations also went up from an average of about 22 patients to 29. Now, there is some good news. The local positivity rate dropped slightly from 16% to about 14.5%. Governor Ricketts appointed a new state senator to replace Senator Rich Pauls, who passed away in April.
That's right. Kathleen Kath, who represents District 31 out of Omaha, was sworn in today.
Please say, "I so swear."
I so swear.
Congratulations, Senator Kath.
Thank you.
Koff is the founder, I should say, of a mediation and conflict coaching firm in Omaha. The governor says she will work to strengthen public safety, control spending, and support small businesses in Nebraska. She describes herself as a fiscal conservative and says she was honored to be asked to fill Senator Paul's legislative seat.
I would just like to say how deeply honored I am to be able to represent District 31. I never really saw myself as a person who would run for office. My master's degree is public policy. I've always been interested in policy and interested in what goes on around it. As we've seen, it takes people to actually get involved, to make change, to keep things going, and keep the wheels on the bus moving. So I'm thrilled to be able to serve as the senator for LD 31.
Now, Kath will serve until January 3rd and is running in November for the District 31 seat. Neighbor Works Lincoln is hosting 2 public events to celebrate National Neighbor Works Week.
More than 250 affiliates will host events showcasing the impact of the communities in which they work. The first will be a bike tour, which is tonight at 5:30. It's starting from the Jane Snyder Trails Center. Riders will be given a guided tour through parts of Lincoln. The city is partnering with Bike L&K to provide bicycles for people as well. Still to come on the news tonight, a major lawsuit slamming Paramount Pictures, looking to ground the success of the Top Gun movie sequel.
Also, the latest on the severe weather potential tonight in your full forecast. Right after the break, stay with us.
It's time to electrify your future by owning an electric car. Charged Automotive is the Midwest
Maverick movie that's flying high with moviegoers around the globe.
Paramount Pictures, who released the film, now slapped with a copyright infringement lawsuit. ABC's Morgan Norwood has more on what that means for the film moving forward.
Top Gun Maverick quickly soared to the top of the box office as one of the biggest blockbusters of the year.
It's actually pretty unprecedented how well this movie is doing. It's a movie that could be Tom Cruise's first billion-dollar movie worldwide.
But now, a major lawsuit slamming Paramount Pictures, looking to ground the movie's success. The son and widow of the author of the magazine article which inspired the original 1986 Top Gun, claiming Paramount failed to acquire the rights to the article about an elite Navy fighter squadron before releasing what they called the derivative sequel.
They're saying there's this law in place that after 35 years, the rights revert back to, in this case, the authors of the magazine article and their heirs.
According to court documents, Paramount bought the exclusive motion picture rights to the magazine story just after it was published in 1983 and credited the author in the 1986 film. But that copyright expired in 2020, which the suit claims was well before the second film was completed. Paramount now fighting back over the charges, telling ABC News these claims are without merit and we will defend ourselves vigorously.
First of all, they're saying that the first movie wasn't actually even a derivative. They've got some serious legal firepower behind them here. This is not a frivolous argument, but it's also not going to be an easy argument to win, in particular because Paramount has so many different arguments they can make.
And that civil lawsuit is demanding a jury trial, seeking an undisclosed amount in damages and an injunction to stop Top Gun Maverick's distribution in any future movies in the franchise. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Now, your Storm Alert Team forecast with meteorologist Malcolm Byron.
Well, we're in and around the time of peak heating, so it makes sense that we are seeing some cumulus clouds looking off towards the Capitol over our groundworks camera, but in between the clouds we have a little bit of sunshine, and that's helping to keep temperatures on the warmer side. 82 degrees right now in Lincoln, 80 in Wahoo, 82 Omaha, 82 in Beatrice, but 70s out farther west, 77 in Grand Island, 74 in Kearney. This is all after reaching a high temperature of 84 degrees in the capital city. Now let's look from above. Here are the clouds. These are these fair weather cumulus clouds that we're dealing with right now, but you'll notice earlier on this afternoon, actually right about now, it looks like we have a little shower developing just north of Omaha, but that's mostly off to the north right now. The bulk of the storm activity is in the northwestern parts of the state at this moment, and this is the strong to severe stuff as well. It's eventually going to move into central Nebraska as the night wears on. So we'll pick up Stormcast at 6 o'clock. Here are those storms out west, and they move off towards the south and east. I'd say after about 6 or 7 o'clock, anytime after that in the Tri-Cities, that's fair game to see some of these thunderstorms. As you go farther and farther into the evening, then it starts to become possible in Lincoln. I'm going to say anytime after 8 o'clock is fair game in Lincoln. Realistically now, and over the next couple of hours, we could see maybe an isolated storm pop up, but this is the main severe weather activity that we're going to be looking at later on this evening. Of course, we'll be watching things throughout the rest of the evening, and then this all pushes off towards the east as we get closer and closer to midnight, and we dry out for the overnight hours. Now, the Storm Prediction Center has placed all of southeast Nebraska under a slight risk for severe weather. For that matter, also the central and western parts of the state as well as they move off towards the south and southeast. Now, as far as what threats we are concerned with, I think initially, especially for central Nebraska, it's going to be large hail, maybe even an isolated tornado. But as it moves off towards the east, I think this will develop into a line of thunderstorms. We may have to concern ourselves with damaging straight line winds along that, maybe an isolated spin up along with large hail. The mixed bag is possible. And let me add maybe some localized flooding on top of that. So it could be an active evening. You'll certainly want to stay weather aware as most of the severe weather has been off towards the west in previous nights. Tonight, it could find itself in southeast Nebraska. So for tonight, 58 degrees, evening storms. We'll have some clearing overnight tonight, so despite the evening storms, it's going to turn a lot drier for the overnight hours. Wednesday will be a gem of a day, 79 degrees, mostly sunny, lower humidity with northwesterly winds at around 10 to 20 miles per hour. In fact, we'll pick up Stormcast at midnight tonight. You see all that rain push away from us, skies beginning to clear early tomorrow morning, waking up to mostly sunny skies, so you'll need the sunglasses early tomorrow. And then going into Wednesday afternoon, yeah, you see the mostly clear skies there as well, so it will be a very nice day for Wednesday. Here is a look at our 10-day forecast. again, mostly sunny, 79 degrees on Wednesday, but then we're watching another wave of precipitation on Thursday. That could bring some storms our way, and the Storm Prediction Center is even outlining Thursday night as the potential for having some strong to severe thunderstorms. So after tonight, we're going to be watching Thursday night very closely. Now, a few of those storms could last into Friday. 78 degrees there, maybe a few isolated showers and thunderstorms. Now, at this point, the weekend looks dry, maybe a few clouds on Saturday, 83 degrees, but then we warm into the upper 80s on Sunday, mostly sunny skies. So there's your return to summer. 95 degrees on Monday, and by the way, that will be a humid 95 degrees as well. And then we are looking for another wave to arrive sometime on Tuesday and Wednesday. The timing might change as we get a better idea of what this storm system will do, but sometime towards the middle part of next week, it looks like we'll have another wave move on by. But after that, we dry out. 86 on Thursday, 90 by the end of our 10-day outlook. So yeah, summer's back next week, guys.
Yeah, you kind of touched on it, Malcolm, though, that it's important for folks not just to listen right now and think they're fine for the rest of the evening. You're still watching certain elements that could be creating these storms and that severe potential throughout the evening.
Right. Chances are in Lincoln, this will be later on in the evening. We can't rule out maybe an isolated storm popping up. And once the storms pop up, they will quickly strengthen into something severe. So something we're watching throughout the evening. We'll keep you updated here.
Yeah, especially social media and on air. We'll be here for you. Thank you so much, Malcolm. Well, Kearney police say all roadways have now reopened after overnight street flooding.
They say heavy rain submerged several streets throughout the community. Here's a look at some of the photos KPD shared on social media this morning. Around 1:30 a.m., police began asking people to avoid Highway 30 east of Inn Avenue. Parts of A and E Avenue were also underwater. My goodness, you could take a kayak down those. Crews are now asking residents, though, to still use caution around work crews as they finish clearing up debris.
All right, a positive day on Wall Street today. The Dow gaining 264 points. NASDAQ was up 114. Here are your numbers. You're watching Channel 8, Nebraska's trusted news source. Start taking a closer look at your quarters this year. The U.S. Mint is releasing a collection of quarters featuring trailblazing American women. Here's the latest one. This is Wilma Mankiller, the first woman elected principal chief of the Cherokee Nation and the first woman to lead a major Native American nation in the U.S. during her 3-term run. She tripled the tribe's enrollment, doubled employment, and was integral in launching new housing, health centers, and children's programs in Oklahoma.
You can see her wrapped in a traditional shawl with the Cherokee Nation's 7-pointed star. The U.S. Mint has already started shipping these quarters out for circulation. Mankiller is the third of the American Women Quarters. She joins poet, writer, and activist Maya Angelou and astronaut Sally Ride, the first American woman in space.
Pretty cool. All right, let's get a final check of the weather with Malcolm.
Right, for now, we have a severe thunderstorm watch in effect out west, but I don't think it's going to take long before that's expanded eastward. You see the thunderstorms off in western Nebraska. They are moving off towards the southeast, and for that reason, we've got a severe weather potential for all the yellow shaded area as these storms continue to move to the southeast this evening. Now, for the rest of this evening, by 6 o'clock, can't completely rule out an isolated pop-up storm that could grow to something severe in and around 6 o'clock, but the better chances of us seeing thunderstorms later on in the evening, closer to that 9 and 10 o'clock time frame. We'll be watching things throughout the rest of this evening.
All right, thank you, Malcolm, and thank you so much for joining us.
Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you right back here at 6 o'clock.
With the Channel 8 Eyewitness News mobile app, you'll be the first to know. Get alerts about breaking news and weather, all in the palm of your hand.
The spas are here. Truckloads of spas arriving weekly. Hurry in today. These spas are going fast. Spas are in stock and ready for immediate delivery. Supreme Spa and Pool.
Closed captioning on Channel 8 Eyewitness News is brought to you